Have you ever wondered why you instantly feel drawn to someone the moment you meet them? It's not magic. It's not fate. It's science. Today, we're breaking down the real reason humans feel attracted to each other, from invisible chemical signals in the air, to the shape of someone's face, to the way you unconsciously copy the people you like. Stay with me, because this is going to change the way you see attraction forever. Attraction is one of the most powerful forces in human behavior. For centuries, poets and philosophers tried to explain it, but modern science has finally cracked the code, and the answer is far more fascinating than any love poem. At its core, attraction is your brain and body constantly scanning the world for signals. Signals about health, signals about compatibility, signals about survival. And most of these signals, you're picking them up without even realizing it. Your brain processes attraction in milliseconds, long before your conscious mind has any say in the matter. So when you think you're choosing who you like, your biology already made that decision for you. Let's start with something you literally cannot see, hear, or consciously smell: pheromones. A pheromone is a chemical signal that one body releases into the air and another body detects. In the animal kingdom, pheromones are everything. They trigger mating, mark territory, and signal danger. But what about humans? For a long time, scientists debated whether humans even had a functioning pheromone system. And the answer: we probably do, but it works very differently from what you see in movies. Here's where it gets interesting. Researchers at the University of Bern conducted their now famous study called the sweaty t-shirt experiment. Women were asked to smell t-shirts worn by different men for 2 nights straight, no deodorant, no cologne. Then they rated which shirts smelled most attractive. And consistently, women preferred the scent of men whose immune system genes, called MHC genes, were most different from their own. Why does that matter? Because offspring of parents with different immune genes have stronger, more diverse immune systems. Your nose is literally sniffing out the best possible co-parent for your future children. And here's the wild part: this preference disappears in women taking hormonal contraceptive. The pill can actually change who you're attracted to at a chemical level. Some researchers believe that couples who met while one partner was on hormonal contraception may find their attraction shifts when they stop taking it. That's how deep pheromone chemistry runs. Now, pheromones in humans are thought to be detected not through your main nose, but through a tiny organ called the vomeronasal organ, or VNO. In most animals, the VNO sends direct signals to the brain's emotional and reproductive centers. In humans, the VNO is much smaller, and its function is still debated. But studies on compounds like androstenedione, found in male sweat, show that exposure can elevate mood and increase focus in women. That's a real, measurable biological effect from a chemical you can't even consciously detect. So the next time you feel mysteriously drawn to someone's energy, it might literally be their chemistry. Now let's talk about something you can see: your face. Across dozens of cultures and thousands of studies, one finding keeps coming up. Humans find symmetrical faces more attractive. Not slightly more attractive, significantly more attractive. But why? Facial symmetry is a signal of developmental stability. When you're growing from a single cell into a full human being, your body is constantly fighting off genetic errors, infections, toxins, and environmental stress. A perfectly symmetrical face means your body handled all that stress without going off track. It means your genes are high quality. It means you're healthy. And your brain knows this, even if you've never thought about it consciously. Researchers have shown that even newborn babies spend more time looking at symmetrical faces than asymmetrical ones. This preference is built into us before culture, before media, before beauty standards. It's primal. Now here's something fascinating. People with more symmetrical faces don't just look healthier, they often are healthier. Studies show they have fewer childhood illnesses, stronger immune systems, and higher reported levels of physical fitness. Your face isn't just pretty, it's a medical history written in bone and skin. But symmetry isn't the only facial feature that drives attraction. Research also points to something called sexual dimorphism, how masculine or feminine a face appears. In men, features like a strong jawline, broader forehead, and prominent brow ridge signal higher testosterone levels. In women, fuller lips, higher cheekbones, and softer facial contours signal higher estrogen levels. And how attracted people are to these features actually shifts depending on hormonal cycles, environmental safety, and what kind of relationship someone is looking for. People seeking short-term partners tend to favor more extreme features. People seeking long-term partners prioritize warmth and trustworthiness, things you read in someone's eyes and smile. Your brain is constantly running a cost-benefit analysis on every face you see, and you're completely unaware of any of it. You've probably heard of the golden ratio. It's a mathematical proportion, approximately 1 to 1.618, that appears throughout nature, art, and architecture. And it shows up in human faces too. The distance between the eyes, the width of the mouth relative to the mouth, the length of the face compared to its width. When these proportions are close to 1.618, people consistently rate those faces as more beautiful. Plastic surgeons literally use the golden ratio as a guide for procedures. But here's the nuance. The golden ratio explains maybe 30 to 40% of what makes a face attractive. The rest, it comes down to skin texture, expressiveness, and movement. A face in motion is rated as more attractive than the same face in a still photo. A genuine smile activates muscles around the eyes that you cannot consciously control, and people can detect the difference between a real smile and a fake one, even in less than a second. Beauty is not just a static measurement. It's alive, it moves, it communicates. Now we get to one of the most powerful and most underrated forces in attraction: psychological mirroring, also called the chameleon effect. Here's what it means. When we like someone, we unconsciously start to copy them, their posture, their gestures, their speech patterns, their facial expressions. And when someone mirrors us, even without us noticing, we feel more connected to them. We rate them as warmer, more likable, more attractive. Researchers at New York University demonstrated this in a brilliant study. They had participants interact with someone who either subtly mimicked their movements or deliberately did not. The results were clear. People felt significantly more rapport with the person who mirrored them. And here's the twist. None of the participants realized they were being mimicked. The effect happened entirely below the level of conscious awareness. Mirroring works because it sends a signal to your brain that says, this person is like me, and we are biologically wired to trust people who are like us. It's a survival mechanism left over from thousands of years of tribal living. Your group, your tribe, your people, they moved like you, talked like you, thought like you. Strangers moved differently, and strangers could be dangerous. So when someone mirrors your body language, your brain quietly whispers, this one is safe, this one belongs. And safe, in the language of the brain, is just one step away from attractive. Let's talk about something that often gets overlooked in conversations about attraction: your voice. Studies show that vocal pitch, rhythm, and tone play a significant role in how attractive someone is perceived to be. Men with slightly deeper voices are generally rated as more attractive by women, associated with higher testosterone and physical dominance. Women with slightly higher-pitched voices are often rated as more attractive by men, associated with youth and higher estrogen. But it's not just pitch. The pace at which you speak matters. People who speak at a moderate pace, not too fast, not too slow, are perceived as more confident and more trustworthy. Vocal mirroring is also a thing. When two people are genuinely connecting, their speech patterns naturally begin to synchronize. Their pace matches, their rhythm aligns. Even their use of filler words start to overlap. Scientists call this vocal convergence, and it's a strong signal of mutual attraction. So the next time you're in a great conversation and you notice the two of you are finishing each other's rhythms, that's biology doing its job. Here's one of the simplest and most surprising findings in attraction science. The more you see someone, the more attractive you find them. This is called the mere exposure effect. Psychologist Robert Zionch demonstrated this in the 1960s, and it has been replicated dozens of times. Simply being exposed to something repeatedly makes you like it more. This applies to music, food, art, and people. Studies on college dormitories found that students were most likely to become close friends and romantic partners with the people who lived physically closest to them. Not the most attractive people, not the most interesting people, the closest ones. Proximity creates familiarity. Familiarity creates comfort. Comfort creates attraction. This is also why office romances are so common, why high school sweethearts exist, and why you somehow ended up having feelings for a friend you've known for years. Your brain kept seeing them, and slowly, quietly, it started to like what it saw. Here's another counterintuitive truth about attraction. Opposites don't actually attract. Studies consistently show that we are most attracted to people who are similar to us. Similar values, similar humor, similar communication styles, even similar physical appearance. Researchers found that couples tend to have similar levels of physical attractiveness, a phenomenon called the matching hypothesis. We aim for partners who are in the same league as ourselves, not just the most objectively attractive person available. Beyond looks, similarity in attitudes and beliefs is one of the strongest predictors of romantic compatibility. When someone shares your worldview, your brain interprets it as validation, proof that your way of seeing the world is correct. And that feels very, very good. The more someone reflects your values back at you, the more you want to be around them. This is also why mirroring is so powerful. It creates the illusion of similarity even before you truly know someone. So let's bring it all together. Attraction is not a single thing, it's a symphony. Your nose is detecting chemical signals about immune compatibility without telling you. Your eyes are scanning faces for symmetry, proportion, and health markers in milliseconds. Your brain is tracking mirroring, proximity, and similarity below the level of conscious thought. Your ears are picking up vocal cues about confidence, health, and connection automatically. All of this is happening simultaneously every time you interact with another person. And the result? That sudden feeling of being drawn to someone, that spark, that pull, is your brain delivering the final verdict on all that data. You don't choose who you're attracted to, you receive the results. But here's what makes this knowledge powerful. When you understand what drives attraction, you can work with it. You can be more present, more genuine, more attuned to the people around you. You can stop performing attraction and start creating the real conditions for it. Because at the end of the day, the science of attraction points to one truth above all others. Connection is biology in action. And the most attractive thing you can be is genuinely, authentically, unapologetically yourself. Subscribe. See you in the next one.